Season 3 of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus just ended today. It was 8 episodes, as Season 1 and Season 2 were, with each episode ranging around the 45 to 50-minute mark. There were a few shorter ones this season that were closer to half an hour, but for the most part, 45 minutes is the average runtime that we got. So we still got a decent amount of content when it comes to this season. But yes, finale just aired today. So without further ado, let me get into my review for the entirety of Season 3. I'm going to keep this spoiler free. So, if you haven't seen it yet, don't worry about it. I'm not going to dive too much into spoilers, or I'm not going to dive into them at all, is what I should be saying. But yes, let's get into it. So, of course, this season takes place after the events of the Book of Boba Fett, where Mando has been reunited with Grogu, and he has the Darksaber still in his presence. A lot of this season revolves around returning to Mandalore, and of course building up towards that with him and Bo-Katan, again, to just having to come together and realize, again, the shared goals and ambitions of everyone from Mandalorian culture, whether, again, too, they might be from different faiths, different factions, that reclaiming their planet is what's going to be the best for all of their people, and coming to that realization. So that is definitely in the background for a lot of this season, because there is a lot of filler, a lot of side episodes that do play into some character developments. They do play into, again, to just showing off a lot of the world in Star Wars, and a lot of, again, too, just Mandalorian culture, with the side adventures that Bo and Din go on together with his faction of Mandalorians, the ancient ways of Mandalore. So again, too, a lot of these sequences can really, and a lot of these episodes can really make this season feel a little disjointed, not connected to the overall story, and again, to just the overall reclaiming of Mandalore. They set up some things very, very early that do kind of feel like they were forgotten halfway through, and definitely near the end of the season, where I just feel like it is building up to something that we should have seen this season, but never was really explored after they first delved into these little messages, these little dialogues about where the show is going to go in the future. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but again, so it just made the season feel a little disjointed in ways, and this definitely isn't the strongest season of The Mandalorian. I feel like it is probably the weaker one, but the last 2 episodes definitely reclaim this show in a lot of ways that just really hype up the action. We get to see the Mandalorian action and fighting that I think all of us have wanted to see forever. We get to see a little bit in season 1, and definitely they amp it up in a lot of ways in the season finale. They set up a lot of things with the Empire resurfacing, and again, too, just ways that help set up the sequel trilogy, so episode 7, 8, and 9, in ways that definitely make it a little more flushed out. I'm not going to say in which, but we do get remnants of the Empire, and we do get to see how the New Republic works in its inner workings, and again, too, how the Empire still has their fingers in everything, just trying to meddle with things. So again, so getting to see these episodes was really, really nice, but I just felt like there wasn't enough of it yet to really tell a super coherent story that sets up a lot more in the Star Wars universe going forward. I feel like if this season would have been longer, close to 10 episodes, they could have really fleshed out a lot more things, and just done, again, to more to bolster the Star Wars universe, more to bolster the culture of Mandalore. But within what they're able to do, they did set up some really, really good character moments, motivations, and just set up things that I am very, very excited to see going on in the future. So I just feel like more would have been better in this case, but what they did was still pretty damn good. It's definitely catered to harder core Star Wars fans, and fans of like Mandalorian culture, who know a lot of these inner workings. It's not super user friendly to people who might not know what's going on. There's enough there to kind of give people the basic idea, but this definitely is more catered to people who know quite a bit more about the Star Wars lore, which there's nothing wrong about it. I just feel like it's not going to be super user friendly to people who just kind of delve into Star Wars casually. And the one thing too that I am excited about personally, and what I did appreciate, is even though the cameos in all season 2 were really, really cool, you don't really get too many of that within this season. And I found again too, it just really helped flush out the main characters that they're focusing on a lot more. The attention was on them, the growth was on them, the developments was on them, and it just made for again to some great moments. And I do think that the action has never been stronger than it was in this season. There is some amazing sequences that again too just looks so damn real and good in a lot of ways, but it really makes use of again too the tools that Mandalorians have. There's amazing sky battles with, of course, the Mandalorians using their jetpacks. Just jetpack combat that we get to see a lot. So we do get to see Mando in full Anakin Skywalker mode, driving around in his ships, and some of the maneuvers and moves that he pulls off are really awesome and fun to watch and scary in a lot of ways too. Again, too, when it comes to the music, I think the Mandalorian and Ludwig just absolutely knocks it out of the park every single time. But just how they use the soundtrack to again to create this almost horror like Western soundtrack for him, where flying through meteor showers and the enemies lose track of him, and all of a sudden like he's behind them somehow some way and they never saw it. Things like that are just so cool. And again to just show how skilled and how scary he is as a bounty hunter. And especially in the last episode too, we really get to see a lot of Din's combat just come into the fold, and it's amazing and so great. When it comes to Grogu, tons of development, tons of backstory that is really well done, and I love the way that they developed his character, and I can't wait to see him moving forward. Of course, he's hilarious. He brings a lot of comedic relief to the show, but also too he just his growth as a character and his growth with the Force in this season was really fun and awesome to watch. And again too, just their bond together is so strong, and something that I love, and I really want to see more of it going forward because it's really awesome. And again too, when it comes to Bo-Katan, I loved her arc this season. There's not so much that I can say without diving into the spoilers, but she was a standout this season, and I really do hope that we get to see a lot more of her moving forward, because I think she easily deserves the title of the Mandalorian as well as Din going forward. They put a lot into her character in terms of redemption, and I really appreciated it, and it was awesome. So again, I can't really say too much more without delving into the spoilers, but season 3 of The Mandalorian was a bit of a weaker episode. Felt disjointed in a lot of ways. There was a lot of just episodes that didn't work fully in a lot of ways, side adventures that really took you away from the overarching story and didn't feel like it was adding too much during the time, but usually by the end of the episodes they really wrapped up and built upon its characters, and again to had a decent amount of, I guess, redemption, or just again to overall adding to these characters, not so much the world, but to the characters themselves. And with everything taken together, I'm going to have to give Mando Season 3 a 7.5 out of 10. It's still really good. And again, to the last 2 episodes, I would rank basically like a 9 out of 10. I thought they were just almost absolutely perfect, and I really enjoyed them. Again, to what they build up to was something really special, and there was some great combats. Again, too, I feel like this just didn't really set up a whole lot of things new, and it definitely unfolded in ways that were simple and predictable in some ways that felt like they could have maybe gone a little bit darker, maybe could have gone a little bit again to just heavier on a lot of things, and it would have been better for us if they spent more time. But again too, what they did was still awesome and amazing to watch, and I enjoyed every single second of what they were doing, whether it be too simple or not. So if you've seen season 3 of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, please let me know what you thought about it and how excited you are for the story going forward and what you want to see going forward. And of course, if you like this review, definitely give it a thumbs up, and you can check out everything I do on the channel through my playlist down below, and I'll link some up top here for convenience sake. Thank you for subscribing and turning that little ringer on so you know when I upload new videos. If you want to check out the description of this video on my channel bio, there's a link to the Media Mountain, which is my Discord where we talk about movies, video games, comic books, TV, pretty much everything that's awesome in this world. So you can definitely join that amazing community. I'll make it even more amazing than it is already. And yeah, just awesome, guys.